Right. You can hear me all right now? Nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Can y'all hear me in the back over there? I appreciate you. You look amazing. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to be a part of this. Thank you so, so much for participating in our democracy. Thank you for getting involved. Thank you, Macon. Please join me in giving it up one more time for Daniel Blackman, the next Public Service Commissioner for the great state of Georgia. Y'all, as Daniel said, the whole country, the whole world is watching us right now here in Georgia. The whole country is watching us. And what's happening in Georgia right now is special. You got the young Jewish journalist, son of an immigrant, mentored by Congressman John Lewis, running alongside a black preacher who holds Dr. King's pulpit at Ebenezer Church, Reverend Raphael Warnock. And all of us together, building a movement for health, jobs, and justice for the people. For all the people, as we run against like the Bonnie and Clyde of political corruption in Washington. How did we wind up with David and Kelly? How did we wind up with two U.S. senators more concerned with lining their own pockets in office than serving the people that they represent? Both of them have been at it. They were getting private briefings in Washington on the threat posed by COVID-19. They were sitting behind closed doors with intelligence officials and public health experts, learning the truth about what was coming to this country. But instead of preparing us, they were looking after their own stock portfolios. And then David Perdue came out and told us this would be no deadlier than the flu. David Perdue told us the risk to our health was low. He told us the impact on our economy would be little. He was buying shares in manufacturers of vaccines and medical equipment and dumping his casino stock while he was telling us that nonsense. And it's not just that David Perdue was using his office to enrich himself. He was doing that at the same time he was fighting against help for ordinary working people suffering during this crisis. He was looking after himself while he opposed $1,200 stimulus checks the first time. And he's holding up another round of stimulus for the people now because he doesn't care about ordinary people. But see, we do care about ordinary working people here in Georgia, the heart and soul of this state. People who need relief right now, people who deserve health, jobs, and justice. We can beat this virus by listening to doctors and scientists. We can get affordable health care to every single family in this state. We can build clinics and hospitals where we've lost 9 rural hospitals in the last 10 years. We can expand Medicaid. We can crack down on price gouging by drug companies so the pharmaceutical companies aren't ripping us off at the pharmacy anymore. We can deliver health for the people. Y'all know my wife Alicia works as an OBGYN doctor in Atlanta. And she sees every day the human toll of our leaders' refusal to invest in the people's health. That refusal to expand Medicaid, that neglect of hospitals and clinics. means that the burden of chronic illness and disease for the people of this state is so much higher than it needs to be. Asthma, diabetes, high blood pressure, people suffering from cancer. And then David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler want to let insurance companies deny Georgians policies because they have a pre-existing condition. And you want to know why they do that? Because they are bought and paid for by the insurance companies. See, the illness that we have in our political system is corruption. We're going to move on from David Perdue in a second because we got bigger and better things to discuss than David Perdue. But let me just leave you with this while we talk about our senator. The same U.S. senator too much of a coward to come out and debate in public. The same U.S. senator who hadn't held a single public town hall meeting in 6 years. The man sells meetings to lobbyists. He puts this all in writing. For a $7,500 corporate PAC check, David Perdue will grant you 4 meetings a year, a retreat on a private island, access to his home, and an end-of-year phone call. Is it any wonder this man doesn't work for the people when this is how he does business? And my message for Senator Perdue is if he doesn't want to answer questions in public or debate his opponent, that's fine. He just shouldn't run for re-election to the U.S. Senate. See, we have to win these 2 races because we need to deliver health, jobs, and justice for the people. And these 2 races will determine who controls the United States Senate. Mitch McConnell will try to do to Joe and Kamala just like he tried to do to President Obama. They will block COVID relief. They will block civil rights and voting rights. They will block affordable health care. They will block clean energy and infrastructure. It will be gridlock and paralysis as far as the eye can see at a moment of crisis when we need solutions, when people are hurting, when we need good government. That's why these races are so important. We need to invest in infrastructure and jobs. We need to expand rural broadband. We need to build new clinics and hospitals. We need to upgrade our public schools. We need to build new transit and transportation so that folk can get around our cities and farmers can get their harvests out to market. We have so much good work to do. We need to raise the minimum wage to $15. Health, jobs, and justice. We need to pass a new Civil Rights Act so that every American has equal justice under the law, regardless of race and regardless of class. We need to end police brutality and racial profiling. We need to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act so that folks like Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger can't keep people from getting to the polls. We can do all these things. Y'all are probably wondering what it is you've been feeling this last month that maybe you haven't felt in about 4 years. That's called hope. We almost forgot what that felt like. But now, whether he knows it or not, Donald Trump is leaving. Donald Trump is leaving. And by the way, these efforts to overturn the election results, these attacks on Georgia's voters, are a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And when Donald Trump or Lindsey Graham tries to put pressure on Brian Kemp or the Secretary of State to discard legally cast ballots, that is an attack on black voters here in Georgia. Because it was the power of black turnout that delivered this state for Joe Biden and forced Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue into a runoff. We need a new Voting Rights Act. We can pass a new Voting Rights Act. This hope that you're feeling, it's because now we have the opportunity to write the next chapter in America's history. We have that opportunity. We should feel amazing to be living at a moment when we can define what it means to be American, when we can build the beloved community that John Lewis taught us about, where we recognize that racism and poverty and violence are not inevitable. We can deliver those health, jobs, and justice that the people deserve, but we can only do it if we work. We can only do it if we band together to win these elections. So what I want to ask you, Macon, is are you ready to work? Are you ready to work? Are you ready to organize and mobilize and get out the vote and knock on doors and make phone calls like we've never done it before? I'm ready to work with you. And I'm ready to work with some of the outstanding public officials that you already have serving you in this community. I want to take a moment to thank Juwan Jackson. Where'd Juwan go? Thank you so much, Juwan. I want to thank State Representative Miriam Paris. Miriam, for your friendship, for your service and support. I want to thank State Representative James Beverly and congratulate him on being elected the minority leader in the General Assembly. Give it up for James. Thank you, Representative. I want to thank Senator David Lucas. And Senator, we're all so glad that you're healthy and recovered. And y'all, Tasha Cobbs. Where'd Tasha go? Tasha's voice lifted us all up, reminded us that we need to have faith in what we can achieve together. So let me just close out with this. Let the work that we do these next 3 weeks come from a place of love for each other. Let it come from a place of empathy. Let it come from concern for our community members, our fellow human beings, our fellow Americans. Let's remember that we're all in this together. We rise or we fall together. We rise to this moment together, Macon. Let's make history. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.